All right, we are backstage, EndFest 2012. Christopher K, happy to be joined by Adam from Owl City. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I didn't get to meet you first time around when you had your massive hit Fireflies. It was all over the world, so we're so glad you're coming.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
This time around. So, you are back, new CD coming out, we'll get into that in just a sec, but everyone's loving your new song, which is with Rae Jepsen, another, kind of fresh face. So my first question is, how did that kind of come about? Did you like that song? Did she know you? I want to know. Tell me how that happened.
I loved this song, and lo and behold, long story short, my manager grew up with her manager.
Oh, wow.
Her manager is also Justin Bieber's manager. They grew up in Connecticut, and so they kind of put us together. And I remember writing an email to Carly and saying, my name is Adam, I do this thing called Owl City, and here's this track called Good Time that I would be honored if you wanted to sing on it, if you're feeling it. And she wrote right back and said, I'm a huge fan. I've been to a couple of your shows in Vancouver, I think, and I had no idea at the time. And it was like this kind of, worlds collide thing. And it's one of those things where I feel like sometimes if you let yourself dream too big, sometimes it can be a setup for disappointment. But this track, just like, I just dreamt as big as I could, and it just happened, and that's great.
That's a great story. That's really cool. Because it's perfect for her, coming off a big hit. Perfect for you. I haven't heard from you in a couple years. So now you have a CD. Now, I think this song is actually going to be on both of your CDs. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about your CD, which is coming out next month. Is that right? In August sometime?
Yep. 21st.
Midsummer Station? All right. Talk to me. What else do we need to know? We know you did a song with Mark Hoppus, but just kind of tell us everything about it.
It's a little bit of a departure as far as the kind of sound or genre that I'm known for doing. Simplified version is, I think my mind as an artist, as a creator, tends to automatically go a little bit left of center as far as lyric content. And I knew when I sat down to write this record that I wanted to create something very grounded in reality in a way that people can really relate to. So in the past, I've generally been known to sing about kind of the weird, quirky things in my head.
I always have thousands of fireflies flying around my bed. What are you talking about?
Right?
Come on.
It's like that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this record, I wanted to come up with something very anthemic, because I think at the end of the day, music is designed to reach people. And so I wanted to create something that I feel like a lot of people at once, from any walk of life, can sing together and really mean as this kind of anthemic, unified thing. So that was the challenge.
Okay, that's cool. Now kind of talk to me about, because you basically just recorded, supposedly the story goes, recorded it in your basement, your whole first CD and everything before you were signed. Because there's a lot of kids, that have the software on their computer now that just like to write music and do their things. Any advice you have to those aspiring young musicians out there?
I would say you have to figure out how to get yourself to a place where the final result, whatever you're working on musically, if you can get to a place where you're just as fulfilled and just as inspired and just as compelled, whether that final product goes to #1 on every chart, per se, or if it goes nowhere and it never gets released. I think if you can figure out how to be just as happy with yourself as an artist, regardless of where that final piece of music goes in terms of success, I think that's when you kind of know that you've made it in a way that I believe society sometimes fails to measure success. So I think if you can really get to that place and just feel so good about whatever it is you're working on, in a very pure way, I think that's when you know you've made it.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. What was that point when Fireflies was really getting big? What was the day you're like, I think this is going to be huge? I mean, what was that like?
I still can't really describe it. I think I was in the car driving somewhere, and I turned on the radio just on a whim, and it was playing. Nice. And I remember seeing my name in the little radio console.
Was that at home? Where were you? Were you just driving around?
I think I was in Minnesota going to the mall, or something like that. And I turned it on, and I couldn't believe it, because at that point I wasn't really sure if the song was going to connect that radio or whatever. And just this for a shy kid from nowhere who was sort of stuck in a world he couldn't get out of. I was working for Coca-Cola, loading trucks. I was going to a little community school for nothing. I didn't really have a plan.
Yeah. And
suddenly this thing just happened, and I was like, just magic and just sparks. And that has never left me, and I hope it never does.
Yeah.
And it's such a dream come true.
Well, that's cool. Well, it's happening all over again now, I think, with Good Time, and we're looking forward to hearing the rest of that. All right, very important question. Is Owl City anywhere near Rack City? I couldn't find it on a map. Any ideas?
I don't think so. It's kind of a very whimsical, dreamy place in your head.
Let's finish you off with the fast five. 5 quick questions for you. Ready? Coke or Pepsi? I guess we know the answer to that.
Coke.
You work for them. Pearl Jam or Nirvana?
Nirvana.
All right. Football or baseball?
Baseball.
iPhone or Droid?
iPhone, yeah.
Okay. Hunger Games or Twilight?
That's a good.
This is very important.
That's a tough one.
A lot is hanging on this answer.
Maybe Twilight. I'd have to say Twilight.
Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. There it is. The man, Adam Young from Owl City, back with a new CD. Do we have a date on that for Midsummer Station?
August 21st.
August 21st. Go out and get it. Good time. We love it. And EndFest. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Good to meet you, man.
You too.
Thanks for watching.